him, I mean, somebody getting hurt and blood and some
No, it wasn't. He was not major.
finger
Like,
falling off is just normal.
Finger falling off is normal.
A lot of people say that we're scared of Rohit sir, we're scared of Rohit sir. I'm not scared of Rohit. But on Rohit Shetty's set, I'm scared of sitting in an SUV.
You have to do it from here so they can see.
So the camera is there. You'll have to take a really long seat. There has to be a curve. The body has to be on a slight tilt. There's a whole art to it.
They're still doing wrong.
Oh, sorry.
Give me right now that camera, I'll run with that. I'll shoot everyone. I'm okay with it.
We can't afford you, Rohit. Happy New Year! I'm so excited to have all of you here. Hello, hello, hi. We've got an action-packed evening for you with the team of Indian Police Force. And we're going to begin with the first female actor to play a key role, a key cop in the Rohit Shetty cop universe. So please put your hands together for the one and only Shilpa Shetty. First of all, how amazing does she look, right?
Thank you.
So, Shilpa, I have to tell you that one of the great joys of my life is watching women kick butt on screen. And it was so nice to see you in the trailer, just sort of, you know, giving it back. Tell me, what was the most exciting thing for you when Rohit came to you with this role?
To technically be the first woman cop in his cop universe. Secondly, to play a Shetty as a Shetty with, you know, in a film or rather a web series that's directed by Rohit Shetty. So like Sone Pe Sohaga. And like you rightly said, a fantastic character to portray.
What can you tell us about Tara?
So Tara Shetty is this really fierce, one of the bravest characters I've portrayed. She really is, I describe her as a shiro, you know? So there are heroes, heroines, and this one's a shiro because she roars. And yeah, she's out there. She's a woman in position and in a commanding position. She's senior, and she used to be in the Gujarat ATS, and now she's in this, you know, she's transferred to Delhi to take over this case. And I can't divulge too many details, but it was just really, really fabulous for me to play because it's a milieu that Rohit does really well, and there are a lot of expectations from him. So to be actually cast in his cop verse was such a huge compliment to me as an artist. I'm so looking forward for all of you to see it.
You know, I remember doing an interview with Rohit about just after Simba, so must be 4-5 years ago, and I was, of course, badgering him about why can't there be a woman in this great cop universe, and he said we're already working on something. And then I said to him that she has to get the same hero entry as the heroes.
And more.
And more, right? Because we need the slow motion, we need the swagger, we need that wo Ray-Bans, wo chashma wala, you know, something to... What is your hero entry like?
It's in the promo. I don't know if have you seen the teaser? Yeah. You have? Yeah, so the shot where I come in walking. And Rohit has a certain style when he shoots his heroes. And now I realize why all his actors look so fab. Because there's a certain, you know, when we walk, we normally just walk. But no, he was like, cut. You've got to walk on a curve. I was like, how will that make a difference? But when you see it on screen, there is an art to it.
To the swagger.
There's a method to the madness. So he made me walk on this curve, and I was like, when I watched it while I was dubbing, I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense, you know?
So he directs the walk.
He directs everything. He directs the way you breathe. Yeah. No, I have to say this. We've worked over, this is my 30th year. I've worked with many
A
directors.
round of applause. My God, that's amazing. 30 years.
30 years. God's grace. I don't know how you guys tolerated me, but it's been a learning curve. But the one thing that really stands out for me as an artist when I'm on the sets with Rohit is that he really knows how to time manage, you know, to make the most of the artist's time. Like, for example, we normally get lines and then we rehearse, and then there's a discussion with the director, and then we'll go there and we'll, you know, do our thing and we'll figure out our placement. Here, it was totally the opposite. I used to go on the set, and this is the first time I've seen something like this. And I think Rohit might kill me, but because I'm literally divulging too much. He has his ADs do the entire scene, and we as artists just see it. And now we know exactly how we're supposed to react, act, where we're supposed to take it from, you know, because we sometimes don't shoot
It's not
the scene
chronological. Yeah.
in a linear way. So you're not lost. And I think it's absolute, use for the artist's time. And you know where you stand. So he literally directs everything. Everything from the way you look. Because, you know, me as an artist, I think we heroines like to kind of work with our stylist, and we'll, you know, add a little element here or there. You're everything from the shoe to the shoelaces to the length of my jeans. Everything was all, Rohit and the team.
I love it. So, which is the perfect cue to bring the director on stage. So, put your hands together for Rohit Shetty and leading man Sidharth Malhotra.
Yes, Anupama. Love you, bro.
Rohit, she just said that you even direct the length of the shoelaces.
I was hearing that.
Oh, God.
It's a lie.
That's not true.
You didn't listen to me at all.
That's so not true. Do we even have a choice? Sid, you have
Your
to back
shoe
me.
look. What is that?
No.
I missed
Doesn't
Sid
it.
was
he-
an obedient
Didn't he
boy.
decide what we were going to wear, what color?
But
what
I
the
like
pal-
that actually, the new look and that
So
fit.
see?
So it went through it. Yeah, he had a vision. He has a very particular vision.
Particular.
Yeah.
Sid
which-
was quite obedient.
Sir, that's very unfair, sir.
Sir, now sir, बाहर निकल के क्या बोल रहा था तू? Shetty ना? Here she's doing sir and all.
Rohit, let's talk about this vision, right? When I heard that you were making Indian Police Force for a streaming platform, for Amazon, my first thought was that here's an artist who's always talked about scale, right? You've always talked about how you've grown up on Sholay, on Amar Akbar Anthony. You've talked about how cinema has to be larger than life. What did you have to change to make this big vision for a smaller screen?
When Amazon came to me, the same question I asked them. Okay, why me?
Yeah.
Because with
You're the
me-
last man I would think of for a smaller thing, right?
And they were like, no, we want to make something of that scale, what you're making, what you always make for OTT. And then I told them that it's going to cost you a lot of money. And they were ready for that. And the credit goes to Aparna from Amazon. She had that vision, you know, we want to do something of that scale. So I was not doing OTT, keeping in mind that I can't shoot in a very small room or something like that. I want to blow up cars. So, so while shooting Indian Police Force, not a single day I felt that I'm shooting something for an OTT. It was like the way I shot Suryavanshi or Simba or Singham for that matter, or a Golmaal. I had the same scale, I had the same budget. So I was very happy.
So there was nothing you actually had to redo in your head.
No, not really. Nothing. It's just that obviously there's a lot more work which goes in, because it's like making 2.5, 3 films.
Yeah.
So that was one thing we learned, and the date we promised them, obviously we couldn't finish in that time because, but still we made the whole show in 18 months.
Wow.
From start to...
And this is 8 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7.
7.
Episodes. So, and I was very happy. The experience was really good. Like I never thought that I'm doing something for a small screen. Never.
And I think the delay also happened because we both had injuries.
Yeah.
I hurt my leg, and then he decided that he wanted to topple the car himself. So he was in the car.
But
while
he
the
still
car-
finished his sketch.
He
I was
still-
there.
and he,
I was in Hyderabad.
with broken fingers and an arm in a sling, he is still shot.
Yeah.
I
same
saw
thing
that.
as that.
The most random injury. We had finished the whole shot, and I think it was we were supposed to be in the car, and then it was just a wide shot of the car going over a big pile of mud and not blowing up anything. It was just a skid through it and then stopping. And somehow the tire just burst at the bottom when he was in the car in a wide shot, and it toppled on one side, and luckily all the other stunt people, everybody else was safe. But he was the last one to come out and saying he's okay, but his hand is, I think it was stuck in the steering or something. And it was, we got to know the next morning or late night or something like that. But he was still there. I think after 16 hours, 18 hours the next day.
He was back.
He was
Yeah,
back.
they were
He was back. We
suturing
finished that sketch. Yeah.
his fingers, and
Yeah.
I used to be like, there were stitches sticking out of
next
his finger, and
night,
he's like,
it was-
action. I'm like, just don't come close to me.
Shot with him the next night. So we didn't really lose any time
Yeah.
in that sense. Yeah.
So, Rohit,
Actually, we have given our blood and sweat
Yeah.
on this
He
show.
had a part.
Actually,
He
everybody in
had
reality.
been given
Blood
a-
one- some-
given an
somewhere or
arm
the
and a
other.
leg.
Yeah, all
Your
of us.
ligament, my blood is
Yeah.
full
you
bone or arm.
suffered for your art, literally.
Yes.
है ना?
Khoon pasina.
Khoon pasina. So, Sidharth, you have become, I feel like, Hindi cinema or Hindi entertainment, Hindi storytelling's kind of go-to hero for the patriotic character, right? Because the promotional material for this show says that, and I quote, Indian Police Force is described as an ode to the selfless service, unconditional commitment, and fierce patriotism of police officers across the country. Of course, and you have played, patriotic characters in Mission Majnu, in Sher Shah. And obviously, the characters are very different, their circumstances are different, but the sentiment and the emotion is the same. So, as an actor, how do you ensure that you're not relying on stock expressions for the same sentiment?
I mean, I think that stems from the worlds, which are very different, the directors, which are very different. Mission Majnu was based in 1970s. Sher Shah was in the 90s. Sher Shah was a biopic. Mission Majnu also was inspired by true events. We were a little more bound by political scenarios there. Indian Police Force has more of the Hindi film hero in it, which stems from the director that we have, which stems from the uniform that we're wearing, also the cop universe that is built by Mr. Rohit Shetty. So I think that in itself, and here it's trusting the makers in all three of them, whether it's Vishnu Vardhan, Shantanu Bagchi, or Mr. Rohit Shetty, just seeing what's working on the monitor and asking them if that's the pitch and that's the tone. So I think it's always a collaborative effort. It's not entirely my credit or my job completely to make them different, and they're inherently very different worlds in that sense. But I like playing real life characters. I feel it maybe possibly stems from my grandfather being from the forces. I always feel it's inspiring to know a character which you have seen in real life. Everybody's seen an army personnel. Maybe not many people have seen spies, but everyone's seen a police officer. And it's very thrilling to know that they're capable of doing this, or this is what they do. Because I like that part real and part fiction tonality. I think it's very engaging, at least to me as an audience, to watch on screen.
But Rohit's heroes are larger than life.
Yeah, but even if you see that whenever we are interacting within the force, it is a technicality of finding that one particular person. It's not just going out and guns blazing. People are not really flying all the way, defying gravity. They are doing more heroic things, but it's in a more thrilling action tonality. Cars, of course, are being twirled around, but
We will
it's-
come to the cars being blown
Yeah,
up.
but it's I think done with a very correct balance. Once people see the show, it's not entirely, I would say, defying some massive logic in that sense.
So, Rohit, it started with Singham in 2011, right? The Cop Universe. Then Singham Returns 2014, Simba in 2018, Suryavanshi in 2021. Can you explain to us how Indian Police Force is going to work with this? Are we going to see characters crossing from the show to the Cop Universe? Or
Not
how's
to
it going?
start with, but gradually we'll never know. They might. I can't commit right now.
Really? And you won't tell us anything more?
Later.
That's a surprise element.
This even we also didn't know.
अच्छा ठीक है.
But Rohit, how do you plot this out? Are you plotting it as two separate narrative threads, and at some point they may or may not meet?
It started with Simba.
Yeah.
Before that, we had not tried this. It worked in Simba. Obviously, then we took it forward to Suryavanshi and then Singham again. With Indian Police Force, it's totally a different story. And at the same time, I don't want the audience to get into a thing where they've come to solve some exam paper, acha ye character hai, ye character, that's what is happening in the Marvel universe, if you see now.
You need to do homework before you go to see the film.
It's too much of brain taxing, and I don't want to do that. Gradually, even they are reworking. That's what I heard when we read or speak to people out there. Said that it's like too much of, okay, this character was from this film, this character. So it becomes little brain taxing for them. So I don't want to do that. And gradually, obviously, after a point, like now we are making Singham again, where all the characters come in. And then from here, we'll get into their stories. And I want to break that connectivity after Singham again. So this one is, Indian Police Force is like a new, fresh thing. We might connect later, but to start off, it's not like you need to know what happened in Suryavanshi for Indian Police Force or what is happening in Singham again for Indian Police Force. So it's like a fresh start for these characters of mine.
Understood. Okay, and with that, let's get the third cop on the stage. Please put your hands together for Vivek Oberoi. Vivek, you said that Rohit's team describes the cop universe as a ration card. Huh? And they said to you, ki aapka ration card to ban gaya.
He said to me, yeah.
What does this mean?
Firstly, I didn't understand it. I was like, ration card? What is Rohit saying? He said it on mic. I don't know why. It was the first or second or third day of shoot. And I think I did a decent job with the scene. And his way of expressing praise was, ab tera ration card ban gaya. I had no idea.
We'll be working in more films. Like that's the code word of a company.
That's what I found out later. I was like, okay, that's a good thing.
So when you don't say ration card ban gaya, then it's over for that actor. Huh?
Oh, he's not said it to me.
You've still not got the hint.
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah, I have a whole theory between how she got injured and how he got injured. They had an argument on wardrobe.
I wasn't even on the set.
I want to hear more about this, okay? I want to hear. So I saw this BTS video that you posted, and you're in the scene, you're on a boat, and you've got this camera which you said weighed 27 kilos, which is literally half my body weight, and you're like running around with it jaise kuch bhi nahi hai, and you're just following Sidharth around. It looks like you guys are having so much fun. What was a day on the set like for all of you?
I think you should ask my actors. They'll let you know.
That was just any day on the set. He
Yeah.
most of the series has been shot like that with the camera.
Yeah, correct,
And we
handheld.
used to be like really worried because if we did a retake, it's the
getting
load is
more
on
time.
his shoulder. So we did the shot really fast because he'd get really angry with us.
I think for me, every time I joined this set, it was weirdly like a family reunion. And I don't want to sound like a cliche saying that, but this is one of the sets where you know everybody's name, you've interacted with everybody, and it feels like you're all part of one unit, you know? And I remember my last day, I was actually getting like withdrawal symptoms. I was like, man, I'm not going to see you guys. And I'm going to miss you guys. And even when I came back for post, it was like a really different experience. I think it comes from the ethos that the man himself sets from the top. You know, he makes everybody, no matter what their job or contribution on that set is, a part of the team. He makes every person feel valued, whether you're an actor, whether you're a guy bringing chai. You know, everybody feels like they're part of something that's happening. And that's what I love. I love that part of working with Rohit Shetty. Aside from the fact that he is built like a tank and can carry maybe 2 cameras on both sides.
Yeah, so I think that part we were shooting in, we were supposed to stay longer in Goa. We had this massive action sequence on a boat and few more scenes in the city. And I mean, I didn't know. It was my first big, I think, long action sequence with him during the shoot because rest was more gunfight. It was the first time we were doing something hand-to-hand combat. We came in, we rehearsed with the team. He was obviously more rehearsed with his team and choreographed everything. And then we realized everything is handheld, and you know these longer takes, and normally we would shoot in action like you punch someone, you cut from here, you cut from there, you merge it together. But here we had to choreograph it in a way that the camera is moving and we're still looking convincing enough to beat those people. And that's the sequence that you've seen online where we are, him with the camera, me with that person banging into props and throwing them off the boat, or sometimes because it's a longer shot, you would actually by mistake even tap one of the fighters, not injure them, but tap them, and they would go along with it because they know otherwise you'll have to redo the whole shot again. And it was a big challenge for the whole team, I think, even to get that correct angle. And I think one of those shots was me taking someone in to a
Glass
almost like
thing,
a glass
huh?
thing, and then which was absolutely fine in the shot. And then I had to throw him off. But later on, you realize that the glass came and cut one of the forearms, and it was bleeding. And but then we were back shooting the next shot in like I think 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the energy on set is just like, ठीक है ना, अच्छा करो, आगे करते हैं. And we
For him, I mean, somebody getting hurt and blood and some
no, it was
some
anyways not major.
finger
Like,
falling
fine.
off is just normal. He's like, "अच्छा, अच्छा, लग गया,
Your
ठीक
finger
है,
falling
थोड़ा
off is normal.
I mean, his finger was broken. He sutured it, and he's on set the next day. Who works
Yeah, it
like
wasn't
that?
as severe as what he got injured. But I think we finished a 5-day thing in 3 days. Huh?
Yeah.
So we had so much. So what you're saying is that I think it was just that energy around with all the fighters, with him behind the camera. Oh, we got it. Everybody's very excited when you got that shot. And then you're next to the next, moving on to the next choreography.
It's the
and rehearsing.
adrenaline.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think otherwise you would take longer. You could take even
I
like
think
a week, 10 days.
I think he also leads by example. He's an absolute workaholic. We have, I think it's the first time in my life I have shot on Sunday, Holi.
Holi, yes. first time.
Raksha Bandhan.
Shot.
If he had his way, he'd want to shoot on New Year's, Diwali. So
Yeah, I shot on my
you
birthday
ever
also.
speak to
first
him?
time.
Yeah, he'd be like, okay, this date. I said, sir, it's a Sunday. I try not to work on Sundays because that's the only time we get, with kids because they're off school. He said, Acha, Sunday hai, Monday, I don't know. He's like, for him, it's just work. And when you see someone like that, who's at the helm of things, you obviously feel under that pressure that, okay, if he's doing it, then you have to also put in that effort. So I think in that workspace, he sets the benchmark, and that creates that camaraderie amongst the actors, and you'll see that chemistry on screen.
But Rohit, why do you choose to carry the camera? Why do you want to shoot yourself? What does it add to the moment?
I think we have trained for that. Like I've been working.
Yeah,
when I was
you've been
working
an
in the
assistant
90s,
director, in your
like
teams.
Viruji and all. Like we were trained to do that handle shots. And those time, now the cameras are 27, 25 kgs. That time it was more than 30, 35, 36 kgs, and we used to run with that. So I'm used to with those kind. And that was one sequence, because there's so much action in the series, that one sequence we thought that we'll shoot where we'd have that frenzy of shots, you know, and that whole sequence is handled basically. So I'm used to it. It's my work. Like, give me right now that camera, I'll run with that. I'll shoot everyone. I'm okay with it.
We can't afford you, Rohit.
True.
Not happening.
True.
Not a chance. Shilpa, how did you fracture your leg? What were you doing?
So, Rohit had this idea that he wanted to shoot the action in a certain way. And because it was really gritty, and because we were playing real life characters, you know, we're officers in the line of work where you know, where it's dangerous. And he wanted to show the whole reality behind it. And that's why the long shots, I think. I don't know if you shoot like that with your movies, but I think he also spends much more money on his films. And हम लोग से बहुत मेहनत कराया इन्होंने. But he actually, I mean, jokes apart, he really made us, he prepared us for that. And I, for one, was really excited because I was doing action after a really long time. So he trained us. I was fab. I have all the BTS. And the day I came on the sets, I had a spasm because I had worked so hard. And the ACs were like full blown. I literally went up to Rohit. I was like, I can't move. I didn't know I had so many muscles in my body. Every little muscle was hurting. But he had that vision, and we tried our best to, do our best. And
no, it was just one of those bad days for her. I think we started the sequence together.
Yeah.
And then you had your solo one, a tough move or a kick to do. And it just,
I had a spasm, so I took a days off, and then I came back on set. We did the whole thing, and just the last shot, it was literally the last shot.
Damn.
And something happened, and it's never planned. I just fell on the floor, and I knew something was wrong because I couldn't stand. And it took me a whole year to get back on my feet, like before, a whole year.
Wow.
So, 3 months I was on that wheelchair. And for someone like me who likes to, work out, and I have kids, I couldn't pick my kids up. That was the hardest part. But I guess what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I've never been in better shape. It just makes you work harder. Especially when you break something, I feel you make it stronger. And I'm happy actually that happened. It just makes you realize what you're capable of doing. And I remember there was a shot, so I joined back again, and we were doing the schedule in Hyderabad because we'd taken a long gap. After how long did we shoot? He was really kind. All our dates went for a dizzy. And there was a shot where there was this whole action sequence where I had to run. And forget running, I couldn't even walk without limping. And I don't know what came into me. I said, Om Sai Ram. He said, action, you have to just do one run shot. And it was this whole high-speed running shot. I think it really tested all my acting ability. And that shot is actually there.
In the trailer.
I saw one of the shots, and I don't even know how I pulled it off. But it's the way he shot it. Yeah. He just made it so convincing. He just shot this, and I think he shot one shot and he said, uske baad aur mat bhago. I can't have any more calamities on my set.
But, as you and I were talking earlier, Rohit, and I've spoken with you about this before, is the hero entry shot. That is so exciting in your movies. And that whole, the swagger, the slow motion. And you remember we had this chat about when you finally have a female cop, she needs to have the same classy hero entry. We talked about it, but I want to know, Vivek and Sid, about your entries. You said that your entry was 4 days and 16 massive cameras?
I have no idea, man. I landed up in Delhi for the shoot. They were shooting my character's introduction. And I got like a 1.5, 2-page scene. And I'm thinking, okay, this will be done today. What are we shooting tomorrow? So between my team and his AD team, they said, this is what we're shooting. So I was like, yeah, but what are we shooting tomorrow? And then I land up on set and I see all of India Gate in Delhi. And I'm thinking, oh my God, there's so much crowd here. Only to realize that there's crowd and then there's crowd cordoned outside the crowd. And that's all actors. We had like, I don't know, 1,000 people around. So he had crowd watching, then he had cops, 50, 60 cars, vans, trucks, all of that. And then he came to me. I said, where is the camera? So he said, one is there, one is there, one is there, one is there, one is there. And there, you see that one there on top of the crane there? That's the 7th or 8th camera. I was like, oh my God. So Rohit Shetty's scale in this show was insane. And for me, it was like, so we're shooting this scene? He's like, yeah, for the next 3 days, we're shooting this scene and you'll know why. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it was insane. I mean, even when Sid and I first went to see that portion where we're walking through the old Delhi.
Yeah,
bit,
I love that.
right?
I love that bit. Yeah.
Rohit just took us from, we were shooting in one part of this GTC mill, right? Where he'd converted the whole thing into Delhi. So we're shooting in one part and we were supposed to start shooting in this Delhi story where we're showing old Delhi. So we walk with Rohit, we walk behind him. We come out of one gully and we come out and you're literally like you're in Chandni Chowk. There's full structures, buildings, lanes, thelas, shops. Matlab, it was insane. I felt like I was transported to Chandni Chowk right there. He said, yeah, we couldn't do it in the original one because I have to blow up a lot of it.
Yeah. That was a good reason to build a set.
So I said, a lot of people say that we're scared of Rohit sir, we're scared of Rohit sir. They're scared of I'm not scared of Rohit. But on Rohit Shetty's set, I'm scared of sitting in an SUV.
Is this the one?
That's right. Which one's going to go?
Yeah, which one's going to go?
Sidharth, what was your entry like?
My first day was again in Bombay. We built, again, a set was built, an indoor set of an outdoor explosion right at the beginning of the first episode that happened in Delhi. So there's obviously, a massive set built of a road and certain structures were all blown up, and which is parts of it is in the trailer as well. And again, I was first, really impressed by the detailing of the artwork of a post-bombing kind of sequence. You come in smoke, actual very controlled environment, there's actual fire. And I asked him, I said, what is it today again? It's just a walking shot with coming in with your, cops and your team. And you need to enter, straighter look. And that was our first day. And then he had already rehearsed it as prepared as he is. And he's got a slightly larger monitor as well from the other monitors that I've seen, which has a better resolution. And it was just a rehearsed shot. And I did it once. And then very interesting detailing. I think he's really mastered the art of teaching actors in that high-speed shot in the cop uniform. There's a certain way the foot comes in, a certain way the posture needs to be.
Can we show her? Did he also tell you to do a curve in the walk?
Correct. No, my foot had to go like.
Yeah.
How does the foot
The
go?
first time I walked, I walked. Normally, I thought I had a great walk. Till I went on Rohit Shetty said, "Aise kaun chalta hai?" I seriously started doubting my walk. I thought I was very confident. Chura ke dil mera, and I'm walking like I've done this.
You're walking to a beat.
He's
You're
like,
thinking
no, this is not how we do it. You have to walk like this.
The swag.
There's a swag to it.
And there's a
Ye kya
turn.
tha? But ye foot
There's
kya
a high.
tha?
It's
How
a
does this
heel
work?
toe. It's a heel toe.
This is the posture. Like
I'll show you.
It's the Rohit Shetty Training Academy. इतने बड़े heel में heel toe कैसे करेगी?
Yeah, but understand. Normal बंदा ऐसे चलता है, right? No! Take 2. You have to come like this, okay?
You have to do it from here so they can see.
So the camera is there. You'll have to take a really long see.
There has to be a curve.
There has to be a curve. The body has to be on a slight tilt. There's a whole art to it.
Amazing.
They're still doing wrong.
Today, guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's your lucky day Because Rohit Shetty will show you how it's done.
Come on, sir.
Rohit. Please,
Come on.
I'm telling you, please, you have to show
Love
them.
this Shetty versus
There is
Shetty.
there is a
It's nothing, it's simple. I'll tell you
background
what.
chalao yaar, koi background.
Usually what happens, if that's the camera, usually what everybody does, I chale, right? Now, how to bring that swag? Like you think high speed. No, it should not be like this. It should be like, take a curve. And then, because it's high speed, and we were taught by Viruji that time, Viru Devgana's dad, is like, normally you walk like this, but when it is high speed, you should move your hand more. So in high speed, what happens? It becomes like this.
Wow.
And footwork should not be like this. Footwork has to be like this. We take close-ups also now. Chapak. Aisa.
Yeah. That was all our first day.
So, we were trained how to walk.
High
Masterclass.
speed.
I love it. I think that's fab.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's mastered this.
इसके अलावा कुछ आता ही नहीं.
No, but I want to say something, Anu. I mean, I've seen all of Rohit's work, big fan of all his movies, and I've done OTT before. I've done Inside Edge
course.
1, 2, and 3.
The original, matlab, back in the day.
Okay, not that far back in the day.
It was the first
All right,
Indian
okay.
series, right?
Okay.
You sound like a
Why,
relic.
why are you laughing? You're my senior.
But who's looking it?
This is so bad for my ego right now. But I was saying on a serious note that when I came to shoot with Rohit, I was wondering how Rohit Shetty is going to take that full Singham, Simba, Suryavanshi, that vibe. How is he going to bring it on this platform? Because it has its own grammar.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this guy. It's pretty incredible that you have actors directors who are great in switching genres, right? He does Golmaal, he does Singham, he does different genres. But he also adapts his film language, his grammar of taking for different mediums. And that's what blew my mind when I saw how he's shooting this for OTT. It had this amazing, larger than life, yet very real, very raw, very gritty, and this pace that was just like, driving the whole show. I was like, wow, I mean, this is how we see well-scripted, international shows. So it really worked hard. He changed, he started again after being the Rohit Shetty. And that's pretty commendable.
Absolutely.
It's pretty commendable. I remember Sid and me, that sequence, the first day we were shooting together.
Yeah.
अभी तारीफ किया ना. That's how they all, not this boy, but Shilpa and you see हाँ, एक तारीफ करते हैं फिर एक बेइज्जती करते हैं. But he so अभी तारीफ हो गया. अभी बोलो अभी गाड़ी में बिठाएगा.
वो करेंगे.
That's the way it's going. I'm just realizing. It's like that शोले scene. लड़का तो अच्छा है लेकिन जुआ खेलता है.
Ah, Mausi.
No, but I have
सबसे
to say,
बदमाश ये है वैसे.
yeah, he's very
सबसे
badmash.
बदमाश.
Please.
Really?
हाँ, एकदम
He
innocent.
doesn't look it at all, yeah.
It
एकदम
takes time
innocent.
to open up.
हाँ, एकदम
Like
innocent.
he
दिखने में एकदम innocent, अंदर से बहुत बदमाश. इसके सभी
जो है इसका
scene serious चल रहा है. This guy is in a full intense zone trying to take something, and he'll have just that moment to lean over and एकदम बिना expression change किए कोई ऐसी line मारेगा ना कान में कि आपको हंसी आ जाएगी. क्या बदमाश आदमी है यार.
No, but
Rohit.
We're all.
But Sid is, what you see is what you get with Sid. He's very sweet, very simple.
He's too non-filmy.
He's very
Yeah.
non-filmy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
Which is,
non-filmy.
Everyone's
which
very
is
real.
so refreshing.
And that's a
I
great
love that.
thing, right?
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Which means he's saying that we are very filmy.
110%.
Acha, we talked about him blowing up cars, right? So I don't know, Rohit, if you've seen this. Like in BuzzFeed, did a whole study of how many vehicles you've blown up. Okay.
Wow.
Now, this is amazing. So they
What's the
studied
stats?
10 films up to 2015. So, 8-9 saal to ho gaye, so there's an additional number to this. The total count was 93 vehicles, 71 cars, 3 autos, 5 bikes, 6 vans, 4 buses, 3 jet skis and 1 truck.
Now double it. Now you know why I said
This
I
is
feel scared of
without-
sitting in an SUV?
Without Indian police force.
This is without Indian Police Force or the films you made in
Even
the last.
Suryavanshi is not.
Exactly. So, मतलब 40-50 तो add हो गया
And
होगा ना?
उतना ही पूरा करियर का सिंघम अगेन में एक ही फिल्म में.
But tell me this.
This is a new Guinness record.
It
For
is.
sure, you should
it
apply.
has to be. It has to be. No, but Rohit, okay, so this is the signature, right? We come and we want to see something explode. How do you, as a director, try and ensure that it's a different vehicular destruction each time? How do you do
I love
it?
this question.
What a
I love it.
term. Vehicular destruction.
How do I explain this? It's quite embarrassing.
I think it's amazing. Listen, okay, maybe Yashji would think about romance and how do I do romance differently in every film, right? So it's the same thing, no?
So I'll tell you,
है ना?
me romancing with a Scorpio. You know, a funny incident happened. Now we are again leaving day after for Singham for another chase. And it's a massive one. So we were like, ये references करते हैं यार, निकालते हैं कि क्या किया है, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. So I decided, I sat with my team, कि we'll shoot like this, like this, like this, like this. They removed all the references of our film and they said, "Yes, sir, जितने shots आपने लिखे हैं ना, सारे हम कर चुके हैं." So again we are thinking अब नया क्या करेंगे.
Yeah.
I think it works for me. I love that.
And you just keep inventing.
Kind of. Sometimes I repeat myself. Sometimes I invent. Sometimes it's an accident and people think it's an invention. Okay. It happens a lot of times. But I love doing that. And I think people like me for that, I think. So, yeah.
You know, the other thing I think that's very admirable, and you talked about it, was the way you acknowledge your team.
Yeah.
You know, at the trailer launch, you said, you brought up people, you made people stand up, you acknowledged everyone who's done stuff. And that's not something that happens often enough. Your thing says Rohit Shetty and team, always. You've never said, I'm the man and I'm the maker, and it's always about sharing credit. And in this series, you're actually co-directing.
Yeah.
With a former assistant of yours, right? How does that work? Like, would you divide duties?
I think the credit has to be given to them, A for one. And with us, it's not what I see off late is the whole culture is not where we started off. That whole Guru Shishya culture is not there.
Yeah.
I may sound a little outdated, but in our times, we used to assist, like if we were assisting Viru Devgan, we were assisting for 15 years. If we were assisting Kuku Kohli, we were assisting him. Now, times have changed. It's like the culture is like, it's more of like a project. A director doesn't have the same team.
Yeah.
They come, like one chief AD will come or one associate director will come with his team and they will shoot and they will go. Somewhere the emotion is lacking, I think. Not about making, about the craft, but when you're making a film, about the team I'm talking about.
Yeah.
With me, Shushwant, who's the co-director, who's directed with me this series, started with Singham. He came during Singham. Then there's one more girl, Sneha, who's again will be directing next year. She's with me since Golmaal 3, since All the Best, since 2009. Many of them are with me for more than 15 years, and they didn't go anywhere else. So I think it's my duty to give them the credit, and they work really hard. We are like abnormal people. Like what they are saying is real. Like we work for 20 hours. Like Suryavanshi Circus and Indian Police Force was being made at the same time. Suryavanshi, because it was pandemic tha, kuch nahi ho raha hai, to kya karenge? So we started these two projects and we were working on these two projects. I'm promoting this day after half the unit is left. Day after when I am leaving for Singham again. So whatever I've achieved, it's not me, it's because of my team. Like Singham, first Singham, we released the film in 4.5 months. 4th March we started the film, 22nd July the film was released. We worked for 20 hours a day, and I can't do that alone.
Yeah.
I can only do it when I have a fabulous team with me. And so yeah, that's why I think the credit should go to them, always.
It's wonderful. But you also said that the way to get on your team, your first priority is he or she a good person?
That's very important for me.
But Rohit, शादी थोड़ी कर रहे हो. You're making a film together.
See, for me, it's like हम घर से ज़्यादा वक्त उनके साथ बिताते हैं.
Yeah.
And how they treat others is more important for me. It's now, मैं तो boss हूँ, they will treat, मतलब मेरे सामने तो अच्छे ही रहेंगे, चाहे पीठ पीछे गाली दें. But how they treat a guy who's even serving a chai is very important for me. They need to be a good person is more important. वो थोड़ा गलती भी करेगा तो चलेगा. वो मेरा नुकसान भी कर देगा चलेगा if he's a good human being. That is more important for me.
And is this true for actors as well? Do we have to assume all of them are very good human beings?
So what I was telling you, Anupama, you know...
I've not got the ration card.
no, they are.
Yeah, she's waiting for a ration card.
मेरा राशन कार्ड हो गया.
All right.
Sir, ration card नहीं आधार कार्ड दे दो बस.
If they are not... Sid is new, but he's a good human being. If I talk about Vivek or Shilpa, it's been almost 30 years now. You've been working.
Yeah.
If you are not a good person, you won't survive this much.
Ah.
If you hurt people, if you trouble them, if you are negative, you won't survive. कितना भी अच्छा actor होने दो, नहीं चलेगा.
I absolutely agree.
True,
with
yeah,
him.
I think.
I think people in the industry are far more forgiving. You could be a mediocre actor and a fantastic person. They'll still call you and give you work. In comparison to if you're an obnoxious person and a fantastic actor. You know, so you'll always have a second chance if you're a better person. Yeah.
Rohit, you and I have talked about this before, but one of the criticisms that comes with the super cop image that your cinema propagates is that somewhere it kind of justifies police violence, right? Because these are men and women. I'm so excited there's a woman. How many times I've badgered you to have a female cop. But these are men and women who are upright. They will do anything, whatever it takes, you know, to save the country. They're patriotic. But there has been a running thread that what that does is says it's okay to be violent. It's okay, encounter killings are fine. You know, we've talked about this with Simba as well. When you hear this consistently over many years, does it make you think that, okay, maybe I need to change something? Or are you very clear in your head about what you're saying?
I'll be honest. I'm clear in my head what I'm saying. See, what happens is, Anupama, we all of us sitting here are cultured people. We don't know, that life is a totally different life.
Yeah.
Like if you just imagine you're going into an office, sitting on your desk and you're meeting a druggie, you're meeting a rapist, you're meeting someone who has just chopped head of an innocent person. When you deal with those kind of people, it's a different frame of mind altogether. I know cops, I know officers who are on after 2611 especially, officers who are on who are joint commissioners now, I won't name them, had to go to psychiatrists, had to go to psychologists. Some of them are still going. So what they go through, and you know, there are times where you have to treat them like that. And you know, obviously I'm against innocent killing. I'm against them taking law in their hand. But सामने से कोई गोली चला रहा है, तो आप ऐसा तो नहीं कर सकते ना कि भैया मत चला, वो नहीं सुनेगा आपकी. And डर होना जरूरी है in the society. Otherwise, we all might think the same way कि नहीं ऐसा जरूरी नहीं होता, because we are all like-minded people. We are not criminals. But that fear has to be there. That's what I firmly believe. The fear, you need to have fear for all of us, all the girls sitting here. You need to have the fear for those people. It's very important. And I'm a strong believer of that. I will not deny. Maybe I'll be trolled on your show comments mein. But I know them very closely. I work with them very closely, the kind of people they deal with. And it is for safety of us, of the society, that they behave this way sometimes. And obviously, people will say कि नहीं ये कोई तरीका नहीं होता है. But situations are such where you know, if somebody's point a gun. I know an incident where they went to arrest someone, and when they opened the door, they started firing They didn't have bulletproof jackets. You won't believe, Sid, lokhand ka chair leke they try to save themselves. Then what they do? They will retaliate.
But I have to give Rohit credit. He has a certain brand when it comes to, like you call it, the cop universe, the cop verse today, because there's a certain brand that he has created in his storytelling when he's showing a cop as, you know, as a protagonist or, you know, as the hero. I think what he tries to portray and what people like is the fact that at the end of it all, they're all human, you know, and it's okay to err. And it's also you know, there's always two sides to a coin. So earlier I heard somebody saying that, you know, पहले हमारी फिल्मों में ऐसे दिखाया जाता था कि पुलिस हमेशा लेट ही पहुंचता था, पहुंचते थे वारदात पे, and then, you know, you kind of you started losing respect
and faith,
you know, and faith in the cops. I think somewhere that is revived, that respect is revived, because if you see the selfless, unconditional work that they put in, they don't even have holidays. And look at the meager salaries that they're on. And they're still selflessly doing what they're doing to protect us.
And the whole thing, if he's wearing a uniform, he's a corrupt guy.
Yeah,
will not
it's
believe,
just like, yeah.
I would not take names, Anupama, but there are times when like a senior inspector level person has come to me for his son's health. He was in hospital and he needed 2.5 lakh rupees. Like, if he is a corrupt cop, why will he ask for a 2.5 lakh rupees from me?
Yeah.
And there are not one, there are at least 17 or 18 such incidents which has happened in last 3 years with me. Like when I went to Delhi also for research and I met the then commissioner and the special cell team. They were like, sir, thank God आप बना रहे हो, वरना ज़्यादातर तो हमको वो हरियाणवी लैंग्वेज में पेट बाहर करप्ट ऐसी दिखा देते हैं दिल्ली पुलिस को. Which is not true. Like, you go to the headquarters, it's like a corporate office.
Yeah.
So the sense of patriotism, right? I think what that evokes is, like, today in reality, a lot of well-educated, you know, cream of the crop kids don't want to look at IPS as an option anymore, right? Because of that baggage. And somewhere I think we as cinema, as a nation, are responsible to that thought process. So it's always great to have a voice that, you know, empowers that choice, and have a young person turn around and say, yeah, okay, I'm inspired by Singham or Lady Singham and want to be a cop. And I'm
Tara Shetty.
Tara Shetty.
No, noted. Last question, and we'll open it up to the audience. You are, as you said, Rohit, leaving to go to finish Singham. You already had 3 massive stars in this movie, and now you've added Deepika Padukone and Tiger Shroff. What are all these people doing?
I saw a meme and I only posted that meme. Rohit Shetty in a party. 2 police mein. 2 bhi girls are police mein. 2 mere OTT mein police mein. I only posted that meme.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to see it, but like, what is happening?
Actually, it's like introduction of these characters in Singham, and then we go ahead with their stories where we make their solo films. So yeah, when you see the film, I don't want to reveal much about Singham at present, but hai abhi sab.
To be cop. I love it.
Tu bhi police mein.
On that note, we're going to open it up to you guys. You have to pick names from this, and please just call out the name, and they will get up and ask the question.
There are not many names, guys. You want to pick?
Why, ladies? Go first. Achha.
Tara Shetty.
Ekta Verma.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sid.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Ekta, and I'm a big fan. So my question to you was, in a very recent interview of yours, you mentioned when the interviewer asked you if a character that you play in a film or a show changes you in any way or teaches you anything, you mentioned that it does in some way or the other. So with regards to Indian police force, what did it really change in you, or the prep or the shoot or anything? What did it change in you, or what did it teach you?
I think for me specifically on this show, I think if I think back of the set and the times we were prepping for it, um, the moral compass, the discipline, I think that a particular person in uniform has to follow in the most idealistic way. But I feel it's a commitment. It's not an easy job to do. It's something that once you've committed to join a particular force or wear a particular uniform, you follow up with everything you can do to do that. So when I think back, and even the vibe on set with Rohit sir and his team was that everybody was very coordinated. Everybody knew what they wanted to do. There were scenes rehearsed. So it was kind of going in tandem with what we were playing in front of the camera, and the vibe that we had behind of it. So yeah, I think discipline, something that comes to me, and that every actor can have more of that, and that's what I take back from Indian Police Force.
I think
Thank you.
the biggest impact Indian Police Force had on Sid's life, changed in his life, was that before Indian Police Force, he was single, and then post that he got married.
And we were, by the way, I have to tell
Maybe it
you
was a
this.
uniform.
You know, that's
Congratulations.
that's a joke in a company. Simba banaya, Ranveer Singh half the way शादी किया. Suryavanshi, Katrina got married. Indian Police Force, Sid got married.
Let's see who's next now. He has so many people in Singham. कौन कुआर है उसमें?
So Tiger's done for.
Oh my gosh.
Now Tiger is working with me.
Rohit Shetty is caging the tiger.
Yep. Will you pick another name, Sid?
Wanna pick another name? Okay. Akash Bhattacharya.
Hi everyone. So I'm a big fan of each one of you. So there's a question for all of you. I think Sid, you have spent I think more than a decade in the industry. It's more than 2 decades for I think Vivek sir, and for the Shilpa ma'am, Rohit Shetty, I think it's more than 3 decades. So I think a lot of things must have changed in the industry, the way you work, the way the overall process and things like that. So something that you missed from that time, you feel that it was तभी जो था वो अच्छा था, and something that you feel that has changed for good. So अभी जो है better है. One of the things probably Rohit sir would say that वो कैमरा का जो वजन हल्का हो गया वो better है. So some example like that.
कैमरा का वजन नहीं है, रिश्तों का वजन भी हल्का हो गया. I came, 21 साल पहले, I came at a time where it was still very familial. It was still very, bonds were real. It wasn't so transactional. You didn't have agencies managing you. You just had people. You knew, अरे ये उसका बंदा है, ये इनका बंदा है. It was ghar, it was like that. Even the staff that worked for you was like an extension of your family. In my case, I still maintain those relationships with my staff. There were the bad things also. मतलब you're ready and on set for shooting and गर्मा गर्म dialogue लिखे जा रहे हैं कि भाई अगला scene क्या shoot करना है, इसका dialogue लिख रहे हैं, अभी लिखे जा रहे हैं. like, अरे तैयार कब करेगा आदमी? वो सब हो जाएगा, set पे हो जाएगा. So there were those things also. But yeah, I miss the familial bonds. I miss that sense of being, it's become more transactional now, I guess, because stakes are higher. It's more of a commercial story. That's why when you work with this guy, when you work with him, when you work with a team like that, and you get that old school feeling, it's like, जब आप वापस अपने college जाते हो बहुत सालों के बाद और वहाँ का वड़ा पाव खाते हो, वहाँ की चाय पीते हो, तो कितना अच्छा लगता है. You feel like, अरे यार, ये वही taste वापस आ गया. So that's what you feel when you're working in a team like that. You feel like how it used to be, the romance of that. So that's what I've seen change.
Should I take that answer? There's that question. I think change is inevitable.
The one thing that hasn't changed is you.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
it's
better.
still looking the same.
I'm getting better. No, but
In a
She doesn't age only.
No.
With Amazon Prime,
20 साल
she's
से
in
मैं
a
ही देख
prime.
रहा हूँ. She doesn't age. She looks hotter and hotter and more beautiful.
Rubbish. No, I just think that you have to move with times, and you've got to reinvent. Rohit and I think belong to the 90s, so we discussed this many a times, that there is a certain way we used to work. Like I remember when Rohit approached me to do this character, I was literally leaving for Chandigarh to shoot Sukhi. I was supposed to be there for like 28 days. But because I wanted to do it, I literally had to call my producer, and then he spoke with Vikram, and then they very kindly decided to adjust. So I was literally flying in and out to shoot
I remember that.
IPF and shoot India's Got Talent, which I was shooting at the same time, meeting my kids for a day. So it was a really hectic time, but we all adjusted because it was, it was a part to die for. So as an actor, you kind of, you go that extra mile. And as a maker, he adjusted a couple of days for me because there was a huge combination. But I feel in today's time, there are very few people who will let go of a date, who would make that adjustment. Actors never even speak to filmmakers directly. It's always via managers and agencies, as he rightly said. Back in the day, I have done movies and मुझे तो पूरे पैसे भी नहीं मिलते थे. डबिंग पे बोलते थे दे देंगे, पिक्चर रिलीज हो जाती थी, फ्लॉप हो जाता था. Producer would run away, we did not even get our money. And we worked like that because for us it was about working, So things have changed, but I feel the madness is still there. Just the method has changed. So I think that's
Well
what
said.
makes the industry.
Very well said.
And there's some things, those values that I still try to guard and keep. And so if I need to convey something, I'd rather do it personally than through a manager, because I feel a lot gets lost in translation. There are so many misunderstandings that happen. So I try to keep it more personal, and that's the way I function. But yeah, you've got to embrace everything that happens with change.
And yeah, with Shilpa, I think 20 odd years that I've known her, she's one of the most honest, most real people that I've interacted with in the industry. And no matter what phase her career is in, she's just been real. She's always met with the same love, the same energy. It's amazing to see that consistency. And she's a wonderful person. दिल से निकली बात, दिल से.
Rohit, what do
Emotional
you
हो रहे हैं हम
miss?
लोग.
I miss. We were like a family earlier. Like that I miss. It's become more practical now. At the same time, it's become easier now because of computer graphics. We don't have films. Earlier days, it used to be 400 feet का एक can आता था. वो लगा है and shot चल रहा है. एक assistant का ध्यान नहीं आया कि वो अगर run out हो गई magazine, तो वो take वापस से reshoot करना पड़ेगा.
Correct.
Film City में, I remember we were shooting in night once. We were shooting for a film called Hakikat, and there was another team. I don't remember who was there. They came to us, "Our film is over. Can you all give us 2 magazine ka boxes or what?" We gave them. The next day they returned. So that was, Pyar To Na Tha. I was a chief AD in Pyar To Na Tha. There is a shot, if you see the movie, where Kajal is crying like her boyfriend has ditched her, and she's just sitting beneath a big church and it's raining. वो जोश का सेट है. आज कोई नहीं करेगा वो. They were shooting and then I think they were making some new schedule or something. Ajay spoke to Mansoor Khan and he said कि हाँ खाली मेरा ये angle नहीं करना, and I was there. I know, yes sir, don't worry. That shot where Kajal church के नीचे रो रही है, वो जोश का set है.
Wow.
So that time again Hakikat we were shooting. And we had just finished Suhag with Akshay and Ajay, and Akshay was shooting for Sabse Bada Khiladi. There is a scene in the hospital, and he came, "Arey yaar, tum log idhar shoot karo, main aata hu." And then he told me, "Chal yaar, passing dete hain." Akshay, like a junior artist, me and him are walking away from the camera and going. So that I miss a lot.
Yeah.
That's not there at all. And secondly, we were fearless. Actors were fearless. Abhi sab डरे हुए हैं
Really?
कि क्या कमेंट आने वाला है. उस चक्कर में ना काम ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. करो काम, मतलब हिट होएगा, फ्लॉप होएगा, गिरेंगे, उठेंगे, करते रहो. अभी ना सब डरे हुए हैं. So I think I miss that a lot. At the same time, budgets have gone high.
Yeah.
We have techniques now. We have technology. We have computer graphics. We have action has gone to a different level. All that is also there. Dolby, we used to miss that.
Yeah.
When we used to mix our film, when we were ADs, and then नॉर्मल एक सिंगल स्क्रीन में फिल्म लगती थी, अरे वी वर लाइक साउंड ही नहीं है यार, हमारे यहाँ कब डॉल्बी आएगा. From Dolby, and biggest myth that we are making films, we are not making films. We have gone digitized. We have all digital now.
Yeah.
There is no film.
There
Actually,
is no film. Yeah.
you know, hard disk aa gaya. You know, there is no film actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously there are plus and minuses. There are more of positive things, I would say. Yes, but that human touch I definitely miss.
I do too. I'm also from
Yeah.
the 90s only.
Yeah, from the 90s. You remember we had that whole discussion of how we didn't even have bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
We used to literally...
Like that senior junior thing.
Yeah.
Like I told you about how Vinod sir spoke to me. I just, I called him, sir, he's our senior.
Yeah.
We've grown up, we have admired Parinda, we had gone on the set of 1942 when it was there. I still remember there was strike and he was allowed to shoot because it was a massive set.
Yeah.
And I called him, sir, I know Manoj Sharma very well. Just by 12th fail bani hai. Like personally I know him. So I called Manoj. Manoj was like, Vidu sir se baat karo, even he'll be happy. I called him up. Before that there was a big comedy which happened. That's wo jaane dete hain. But he was like, "Tekho achhi lagi picture?" Mera sir bahut achhi film hai. Chal abhi tumhe wine ki bottle bhej. So that is like the senior junior thing, which I miss. Which our seniors had that thing.
एक अपनापन, एक bond.
Apnapan nahi hai.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think the last 10 years, social media coming in has made everybody else conscious.
Yes.
When we also started 10, 11 years ago, social media wasn't a thing. We were not on Instagram or Twitter. It is a great medium to connect with your fans, but it's also become a medium that everyone has become a critic or a
Like, I
business
think even
person.
Dhadkan, it took 4 years? 5 years? 5 years it took in making, people were working, but
Yeah.
and then suddenly it was released after 5 years and became such a big
Blockbuster.
hit. उसका मीम अभी भी चलता है, चले.
Yeah.
3 Shetties in that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very happy note to end on. Guys, thank you so much. This was so much fun. And thank you to all of you.